Hey guys, hope you guys are doing well today. Thank you so much for tuning in into the Inspo Depot podcast by Insporeum Network. For those of you who don't know, my name is Rizq and I am the founder of Insporeum Network. So Insporeum Network is an entertainment media network for professionals. And Inspo Depot podcast is one of the pillar content that we have here on this channel. On this podcast, we have upcoming talents, upcoming creators, entrepreneurs, personalities and athletes to share their perspectives, to share their thoughts, to share their insights about their respective industries and how we can understand it better and how it will be helpful for us in our future. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the podcast and I'll see you on the other side. What's up guys, welcome back to an Inspo Depot podcast episode 3 and today we are joined by Mr. Adam Nizam.
Hi.
I think a lot of people don't know who you are. Why don't you just introduce yourself and what you do?
Okay, thank you first of all, and the team for having me here. My name is Adam, and I'm the founder of Brand New Ways Running Club. For those who don't know, Brand New Ways is a sports community. We run, we play football, we cycle on a weekly basis, and amongst other fun stuff that we do. So yeah, that's basically it. Yeah.
Awesome. Give us a little bit of background of who you are before starting this community of yours.
Before I started running, I've played sports throughout my life. Like I've played football since the beginning of time. But after I went to SMK Sri Bintang Selatan, and then once I graduated, I went to UiTM Alor Gajah. I did mass comm. After my diploma, I did my degree in UiTM Shah Alam. I studied instructional communication and training. And then after that, during my degree was when I started Brand New Ways. Right. So it was during my last...
While you're still studying?
Yeah. I think during my last semester, I can't remember, my second last or my third last semester, I started Brand New Ways together. And then now I'm doing Brand New Ways full time.
Right. I think a lot of people want to know, like, right now in the industry and people our age, a lot of us start our own company, we do new startups, businesses and whatnot. Why would you do something very different than other people and start this running club?
Why? It's in general, I've always wanted to start my own thing. Right. For the longest of time, I've always wanted to, there was ideas to start a food truck to start a food business, and then a football team, and then it was when I went to London actually that I really got inspired. When I was there, I actually got in touch with their communities Their running community over there, their football people, so. And then I got really inspired. I feel like whatever that happens over there, we need it in KL. We need it in Malaysia, particularly in KL. So right after I got back from London, that was when I texted my friend like, hey, like I'm doing this. So it's just running has running. We started with running, right? So particularly running has it did a lot for me in terms of like my mental health, my physical health. It got me up from a really dark place to another place where I didn't think that I was going to be there, and I realized the power and the impact that it had on my life. And we just want to provide that platform for everybody to be a part of this. If you've never ran before, this is the place for it. We just want to have like a spot. Because we understood at the time there was a lot of people that wants to run, but they don't really have the access. They don't have access to all this stuff. So, hence Brand New Ways, Heaven Boys, Gyalchester, and so on and so forth.
Share us a little bit about Heaven Boys and Gyalchester, because it's very complete. It's not a running club; it's a football team.
Yep.
And you have one team for the males and one team for females. Share us a little bit about that experience of building those two teams.
Thankfully, I played football. I played football with...
You were from Shah Alam Antlers, right?
Yeah. Shout out Shah Alam Antlers. I was with Shah Alam Antlers for 1 year plus. And before that, I was playing for UiTM FC under the Selangor League. So I have some sort of an experience with, with semi-professional teams or amateur teams that, are going towards that direction. And what started Heaven Boys was just something very casual lah. It was just like, jom futsal, jom minggu depan.
Yeah.
We just gathered a few friends that know what, like macam, do you know who wants to play? And then they would ask their friends, and then we made a WhatsApp group, and then we were playing for like 9 weeks straight every Wednesday for like consistently. We just happened to just have the Instagram account for, just for us lah, like have a group photo lah, FIFA rating card lah, just for fun lah basically. And then we realized that we grew a bond together, and with that bond, we entered a football league. So we started with futsal, and then kita masuk a more football lah, one level say.
Much more professional and just
much more competitive lah, I would say. At the same time, we did Gyalchester because when we started the Heaven Boys, and then some of our friends were like, buat futsal untuk perempuan pula lah. And I'm like, I never actually thought of that. Like I never actually thought that like we would have a girls futsal team, because in my knowledge macam I tak pernah nampak lagi, padahal ada je macam futsals and all these girls that main kan. So at the same time when the boys masuk league, and then we started Gyalchester. So we would play like side by side. Same objective, same reason, to provide a platform and access to these girls to play.
Is there any other like fully female football team beside Gyalchester that they all play around with? Ada futsals, ada WSF, ada Sun Bears, ada banyak actually. But then they were doing their own thing in their community. So now what we are doing with Gyalchester is to get in touch with all of these communities and do it together, because trying to bring them out.
Yeah, we're trying to do this together as one. We are all in the same team anyway, right? So ada banyak.
Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting to me too, because I have no idea. Yang mana I nampak yang perempuan main futsal pun macam mix. They play mix with like guys and all, so it's fun lah.
Heaven Boys and Gyalchester aside, I also know that you teach at a school.
Yeah.
Right? So the difference, what's your like philosophy in like training different age groups? Because you teach like young age kids and also people your own age. Like how different do you approach this training in any way?
I get what you mean. So obviously when you train budak-budak kecil kan, so dia lain lah, your approach and how you, every little thing tu akan jadi lain lah. Obviously when I handle Brand New Ways or Heaven Boys or Gyalchester, it's very straightforward. It's very like like A, B, C.
Yeah.
But with under 10s or under 12s, you gotta grab their attention first. Especially the under 8s or under 10s. They
fool around.
They are with their friends, right? I understand. I've been there too. You with your friends, like your sports attire, you at the padang, takkan you nak dengar cakap cikgu kan?
You just want to go have fun.
I just want to have fun. So you just gotta grab their attention first, and your choice of words have to be different. The activities that you do obviously have to be different. If it's like an adult, your activities or sessions macam very straightforward lah. But for the kids, obviously we do a lot of games, we do a lot of activities, so that they not only learn but they have fun also. Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Right. From what I've read and researched around, right?
Oh my God.
Yeah, of course we have to do our research, right, to provide you with the best questions, right? You once said to Zalora that you hated running, but you put in at least like 3 to 4 kilometers a day, right? And all of that while you lead three different stuff, which is the running club, the football teams, right?
Right.
And that's very hard for someone to do. So what do you think that other people is like they are lacking of to like achieve what they really want?
Wow, that's huge. But I think it's to each and its own lah, and it really depends on the person. Kalau like for me, the objective with Brand New Waves ke Heaven Boys or Gyalchester is always to inspire and empower. So I always have that in the back of my head. In whatever that we do, if we get involved with the community, it's always to inspire and empower. So it's always there. So when we run, whenever we play football, at the end of the session, you see the smile on their faces, you see their satisfaction, you see their fulfillment. That fuels me to do more. You get what I mean? So especially when we've been running for a year, and then you've seen the progress of some of our runners, some of our athletes yang started memang zero, and then now, like they have their achievements, whether they lose weight or whether they run faster or they keep on coming consistently, and they are, like in general just happier, just based on what we see, right? So I feel like that is something that fuels me lah, that it can happen to this person, therefore it can happen to you too. And it's a weekly thing. We organize this like every week. So every week I see either old faces, new faces, and I always like have that fuel in me that it's for everybody. So
what's the difference that you do in your runs, that makes everybody feel like they are at home? Because some of them, they're like new faces, they don't know what's going on and who's who. So like, how do you make them feel comfortable to run?
I think, again, in general, our activities, we want to include, it's very inclusive. We want to have everybody to get involved, and, in our postings pun, we say, like all abilities are welcome, because our runs memang all abilities are welcome. And from the get-go, already kita dah set that everybody can come. It's not just like for faster people or for runner, we memang focus on just anyone who wants to come and sweat lah, basically just come, right? And obviously when we set the tone like that, during the run, we would be friendly, like we play music, we break them into smaller groups, so that they can communicate with their captains and their small friends. So it's the approach is very friendly lah, very warm lah. We break the ice so that none of them will be like on their own world. We want to get them involved in some way or another lah. Yeah.
How big is your biggest run?
Biggest one was in Taman Tun, 170, 180 people.
Shit.
In Taman Tun. That was crazy. Yeah.
How many groups that you have to break them all off?
I can't remember. I think it was 4 or 5.
Oh shit, those are big groups.
Yeah, it was 4 or 5. We had to break them into 4 or 5 groups. But then if 4 or 5 groups also, that's a lot of people in Taman Tun area, right? Yeah. So that was supposed to be our last run. So that's why ramai orang.
Right.
Yeah.
Why was that supposed to be your last run?
We macam got complaints from the Taman Tun community that we love. That we hold so dear, Taman Tun community. We love you. So we had some complaints lah, from one of the resident, and then we actually spoke to the head of resident, and we told them that this is happening here. He was well aware of brand new waves, by the way, and that run was supposed to be like, okay, this is the last one, right? And so a lot of people turn up. It was increasing, so that's why that had to be the last one, because we knew that there was a lot of people coming.
Correct.
So we had like Red Bull datang bagi air semua. So that's why it was like
a huge thing.
Yeah, it was huge for us because a small running club in Taman Tun gathered 170 plus people to come and run. That's fucking crazy. Yeah.
You guys did a few runs in Stadium Bukit Jalil, right?
Yep.
How did that come to happen?
It was actually them that first reached out to us.
Oh.
Yeah, it was they wanted to do something together, and first they approached us to do the run outside the stadium. So I'm like, man, we drive here all the way to Bukit Jalil, might as well we run inside the stadium, right? So we proposed to them that let's run in the stadium, and then lucky for us at the time, they were trying to promote the infrastructure lah. They want people to come to Bukit Jalil, right? So lucky for us, they agreed to do that on a monthly basis. And I just saw them the other day, so shout out to Bobo and Tarin for having me there the other day. So Brand New Waves will continue running in Bukit Jalil after the if we have our cases down, everything will be okay again. Then we will run inside the stadium. But that's how it came about. Like, it's a really cool experience because it's a national stadium. Like most of us, especially for a football player, Bukit Jalil is like
epitome, bro.
Yeah, that's like the grand stage of that's the stage of the stage, lah. So it's fun. It was fun.
So you guys collaborate with a lot of different brands and names.
Yes, we
like
do.
Stadium as well, right?
Yep.
So like some of your collaborations that you guys do, you guys did like the Clinic Wavy, you guys did virtual runs with We Are Cakes and Light Beam Project, and then you guys also ran in the Urbanscapes Festival, right?
Oh yeah.
So like what is it about Brand New Wave that all these other brands want to work together with you guys? Why do you think they want to do projects with you guys?
Yes, I think it's again in general, sports is, in fashion now we have athleisure, right? The Lululemons and the Nikes,
Gymshark and whatnot.
Yeah, people are wearing that on your people are wrapping that on your everyday life. So sports in a way that is now it becomes a part of your lifestyle now. So Brand New Waves is actually the platform or the brand or the people that wrap this lifestyle in KL. So especially when it comes to other brands, other non-sporting brand like Urbanscapes or We Are Cakes or whatever lah. This is something new for them to get involved with. I always tell these brands that this is an opportunity for you to be a part of something very revolutionary. Sports, us as a sports community, we always try to do what's next. Like the thing that we did with Urbanscapes, right? Like Ion. I don't know, man. That guy is like.
That guy's crazy.
Ion is on another level. So Ion actually built that.
Actually, Kevin, one of our...
he was there. That's why I was like, hey, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? So I'm like, that was why, like what we did with... Ion actually built that light suit. And we had like 30 of them. And then we wore it. And then we ran in the city, right? So those kinds of stuff... especially to Urbanscapes, that is something that is new. Not only that as a sports community that we run, but we also get involved with like creative arts and music and all these other stuff that other brands might want to get involved with. So I think that's what makes us like different from the rest lah.
Awesome. With all the amazing things that B and WRC have created, like you guys have created like cycling clubs as well. Do you want to talk about the cycling club? That's the new thing that you guys just created, right?
What? Which was?
You guys just started this cycling elite
team.
That's the latest one. What's that about?
So I wouldn't say it's a trend.
Okay.
It's an elevation. The way I see it is an elevation of when you get involved in running. The progression or the growth, you need something more lah, basically. So it's always like running, cycling, or running and football you cannot, because running the type of run the lain tau, but then running and cycling dia macam it goes very well, right? So when you run you pretty much you cycle too, right? So especially here in KL or in our community, they started cycling also. So dah memang ada dah actually in our community dah memang orang dah cycle for so many years, right? And then it's just that everybody after MCO they bought a bicycle. I bought myself a bicycle and everybody else bought their bicycle, and then we were like, hey, jom lah, let's create another division. And alhamdulillah, we on the first ride we had about almost 40 people, and then on the second ride we had like 50 people in the city cycling. Not just in our community, we obviously open up to the public lah. We say that all bikes are welcome. Not only those yang betul-betul road bikes, and then ada juga yang datang pakai foldy, pakai BMX. so it's always nice to see those things.
Just to bring people together.
Yeah, man, like that. So that's the new thing lah.
Where do you what do you aspire be and brand new waves, not just the running club, brand new waves to be? Like, what's the maximum thing
Maximum.
What's your dream goal with BNW?
Because we from the get-go we want to inspire and empower people, right? It's not merely about where we are going to be, it's more of like where the community is going to go. So for example, we have our runners that runs with us, let's say for 5-6 years, and then they will start their own community.
Correct.
They will start their own, they will have their own runners. You get what I mean? So it's like a chain lah. We want to inspire people. As a brand, I feel like we want to be that the sports people in Malaysia, right? We want to be that. When it comes to running, it's like brand new wave. When it comes to hopefully cycling is a brand new wave. When it comes to football or whatever, it's brand new wave. So we want to be that sports people or content creator in Malaysia lah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. This is an interesting question. We've watched one of your interviews with RTM. I think that was quite recent.
RTM was a long time ago.
Is it?
Just
Or maybe there was just one of the posts that I just saw that. Was you guys were running in KLCC.
Yep.
And then you guys you mentioned that there was this one time there's these few people that when they start running they were so far behind. Yeah. And then few runs later, few weeks later on, they were in front of the group.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So that's a pretty great achievement for something that you've created. So what is the most fulfilling thing that you've experienced doing this?
That
one.
So that was one of the things that me personally, when I see it, I'm like, man, we really did something. Obviously on a weekly basis, whenever they finish the run, it's always a celebration. Always, we always applaud them for finishing the run, and on a long-term basis like that, we see, people punya growth, dorang punya elevation, dorang punya progress, and obviously personally, it's it works. I really saw them starting from tak larat, people like Nazkimo, Fatima, Izazi. So all these guys, amongst others kan, memang they really started lari kat belakang, penat, and then now they are leading the team. Now they are, they are running faster than the rest. That now they are, they lost a lot of weight, something like that. That I feel like that's something yang macam, we provide them with this platform, and then they use it to the fullest, and then look where
it gets you there.
Yeah, look where it got you, right? So I'm very happy with these people, and
you created something bigger than yourself and all that.
Yeah, I always tell them that you are a part of something that is bigger than yourself. When you rap for when you rap for a brand, when you wear a badge, when you play for the team or whatever, you will play better. You will you will psychologically you will be extra everything. When you play or when you run different. Versus you run by yourself. It's different. It's totally different. If you run, you understand what I'm saying. If you run seorang, you were
boring, bro.
Yeah, bro.
You don't feel it.
It's either you finish it and you just feel okay, I finished it. But then when you run with everybody else, you feel you did something.
You accomplish something together.
It's accountability. Macam orang tu boleh buat.
Kenapa kau tak boleh?
Yeah,
Since you're in the sports community, what is your take regarding the sports scene in our country in general?
It's definitely growing. I always say this. It's definitely growing. In terms of football, the amateur football, grassroots football is definitely moving towards a place where it's they have their own crowd, they have their own name. People like Bobai, Padang Bola Sepak, bola bosan. So these guys, they are creating their own contents, and they have their own market, they have their own people that follow. So I feel in terms of football, they're already up there lah. But in terms of running or other sports, we are moving towards that direction. Because running it's straightforward, right? You post up something and then you go and run.
Yep.
But then what we want to do is we promote that lifestyle. That's what we do. We want to promote not only the running part, but the people who comes to the run, what shoes they're wearing, what music we listen to. So we want to promote that. We want to sell that lifestyle, you know. So that's where it's heading lah. The growth is heading towards that direction lah. Macam each of, contoh macam running crews, they have their own style. Running waves ada their own style. You know, Kaiser ada their own style. Siapa lagi running crew?
We have like We Be Thirsty.
Yeah, We Be Thirsty is definitely.
You were from We Be Thirsty before.
I ran with We Be Thirsty. So shout out We Be Thirsty. Shout out Brian. Shout out Brian for letting me come to the run. So it was actually them. We Be Thirsty was the first crew that I ever ran with. So obviously they have their own. They have their own thing. They have their own creative direction, right? And then I tak pernah lari dengan Kaiser, but then they have their own direction. Running Waves have their own direction, so it's definitely moving towards some more creative, you know, when it comes to social media lah. Yeah.
There's this new thing that you started also. I don't know if you started it, but like the grassroots.
Yeah, that was me.
Oh, it was from you?
Yeah.
Why don't you share us a bit about that one? Because that is very new. I don't think a lot of people know about it.
Yes, correct. So thank you for bringing it up. So GFAM stands for Grassroots Football Association of Malaysia. So obviously, that's the camera.
Yeah.
So this is not the camera. That's
your camera.
That's my camera. Okay.
You want to
GFAM is Grassroots Football Association of Malaysia. So the way we put it is like this. FAM is they handle the professional side, Liga Super, Premier, M3. So GFAM, what we do is basically it's just a union of grassroots football community in Malaysia. For example, during MCO, this is the case study lah. During MCO, we were one of the last industries to open.
Right.
You know,
because it's a contact sport,
after foot massage, after pasar malam, pasar pagi. So for us at the time, we were really affected because it's a domino effect. If players can't play football, the padang owners can't generate their income. So how many months we were out of football already? So we didn't. So kalau kita tak boleh main, padang tak dapat duit, referee tak ada orang nak bayar, photographer tak ada orang, tak ada income, and league organisers takkan ada income. So at the time, there was no representing body or an organisation to represent grassroots football. All of these people that were affected in the industry, right? So that was the inspiration to form this union around grassroots football. So after the whole thing happened, I think a week or 2 weeks before we started actually playing, we were allowed to play football. We got in touch with different grassroots football community to tell them that this is happening and we want to form this union because it's very necessary. And we are slowly building, the team, the organization. We are slowly structuring the whole, context and how we want to govern the whole thing. And hopefully it will run. We're gonna organize a monthly, bi-monthly town halls lah, just to understand from a photographer's point of view, what do you need in terms of what do you need in grassroots football lah? What's your
how you guys can help and whatnot.
Yeah, what we can do together as a team, right? So mainly because league organisers, they do their own thing, Padang they do their own thing. Correct. Football teams like us, we do our own thing. So why not we come together and discuss? Maybe we can work something together. Maybe this is an opportunity for us to utilize our strength lah. And what we want to do actually is to prove to everybody in Malaysia is that sports is an industry. So especially grassroots football ni, we actually, kalau kita nak main bola, we spend a lot of money tau.
Correct.
On a weekly basis, kalau kita main 2-3 times, banyak like 1,000 lebih memang up there tau. We spend our money. So mainly the reason why we were one of the last things to open as an industry because it's recreational lah. Bola tu macam it's recreational, right? It's to their knowledge probably them means the our government or KBS or MKN. They probably didn't understand that it's an industry, So that's what we wanted to prove with GFAM, right? That's what we wanted to do with this union. We wanted to prove that grassroots football ni adalah industry.
Cool. So when you guys did the recent one, I don't know if that was under GFAM or Brand New Waves, the esports thingy.
No, that was Brand New Waves.
Oh right, but the people that you guys are sponsored and whatnot, were you guys are all the partners that came together to build GFAM?
The esports things was different because our community partners for the FIFA tournament was the people that we reached out.
Oh right, okay.
Just only for the tournament lah. Obviously for because it's football. Obviously some of these community partners is are relevant lah to bring in for GFAM. So after FIFA and then after we formed GFAM, we also got in touch with people yang relevant in the football grassroots football scene. So we want to get them involved lah. Yeah.
So this GFAM, you guys are basically the body that it's like a union that supports this amateur, semi-pro.
Correct.
Right. What's the mission for this?
Obviously, we have some, physical or impact. First of all, we want to have an impact in the grassroots community. So the objectives were, we want to come together. We want to have a representing body, and we want to
protect and defend.
We want to inspire and empower. So the physical objectives were that we want to create policy making. So what we want to do is we want to conduct research on probably women in sports, how we run our amateur leagues, and all of this research or studies or propositions we want to bring it up to FAM or KBS, so that it has an impact on the community lah. Because whatever that we do now, contoh macam MCO, right? They see football as one payung, and yang affected was us, grassroots football, right? So when we have a union or when we have a voice, benda tu ada power lah, benda tu ada impact. So on a larger scale or for the long run, we want to have the same kind of impact in the community, so that our proposition yang kita ada, kita akan bawa to KBS, kita akan bawa to FAM, so that we have a change lah.
Before we kind of reaching towards the end, so nice. What's your take on how you want the future to be? What's your ideal future?
My ideal future, obviously COVID free.
Definitely.
A virus free future. And I'll start with our community, and then we work towards more general. So from our community, how I ideally see it is we want to be the sports community that is sustainable, first and foremost, and we keep on inspiring. We keep on doing what we are doing now. We're doing it for a year. We want to do it for forever, right? And then for the community itself, we want to see them grow. Obviously, we want to see more runners. We want to see more various types of runners. We want to see different age groups. We want to inspire more people to come and get involved in sports. And I think in Malaysia or whatever, the general punya point of view is that we want to have a healthier Malaysians. We want to have a healthier people, communities. So what we do in Brand New Ways might be in KL. We probably gonna inspire people from Johor to start their own running crew and to do the same things and understand that there ada impact there. We do it over here, bukan kita nak macam shot sendiri ke apa kan, but then we do it here, ada impact there to these people. So when people in Johor, people in Kuching, Sarawak or whatever, when they see this, kalau kita dapat find that spark they might start it in Johor, they might start it in Kedah, whatever. So when we have all of these communities yang run their own thing, slowly dia akan cultivate that kind of lifestyle lah. So in general, for the long run, I hope we can inspire more people to do the same thing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, before we leave, do you wanna plug anything to the public?
I have a lot of plugs, bro.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, take your time.
So August onwards, we're gonna we have a schedule, we have a timetable. Actually, we have a calendar. We have a calendar in Branding Waves. So go to our IG newwaves.rc. Look for our calendar and come for our runs. On Tuesdays, August onwards, we are running with coaches. It's a performance-driven run. Our runs have always been very fun and all that stuff, right? But August onwards, we're gonna have 2 coaches, Coach Zu, I call him Coach Z, and Coach Natasha. So 2 of these coaches akan help you to build your whatever performance, your running goals lah, basically. So you will actually learn how to understand your body, how to run, your techniques and whatever. And on Thursday and Sunday we run fun lah, community lah, recovery run. And some Sundays we cycle. So
there you go, the new stuff.
So yeah, and I think that's all. This is follow us, Heaven Boys, Gyalchester, newwaves.rc. So
awesome.
And follow these guys too. These guys are
follow
amazing.
Insporeum. You guys better follow Insporeum.
Insporeum.
Alright, that's it. Thank you so much, Adam, for coming us for our 3rd episode for this Inspo Depot podcast.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks for having me. Thank
Awesome.
you to the team as well.
Thank you, guys. See you soon.
Yeah, see ya.